Alright, so what are we looking for? I want to steer. No. Move, I'm steering. Ow. Jeez, nay. I'm sorry. Okay. How do we do this? Step 1, look at the screen. Step 2, move around and look at stuff. Step 3, find ghost. Sure. Okay, so this is not exactly how a microfiche machine works, but... There's a lot to read here. Okay, let's see. Spectral happenings at Possum Jump. That seems like a good place to start, spectral and all. 2 local sweethearts were startled this past Sunday night as they hiked along the wooded overlook known as Possum Jump. According to the Lovebirds, at approximately 11:45 a.m., a figure appeared to walk from the edge of the cliff out into the open air and then disappeared. Forestry workers the next morning were unable to locate any evidence of anyone having leapt from the great height, leaving the exact nature of what these two saw a mystery. A decent hike up to the State Forest Hills, Possum Jump is famous for its beautiful view of the Echo Reservoir. It also holds historical importance as it hosts the lonely graves of several persons involved in the Possum Massacre. How about that? Let's, maybe start from one end and... Oh, okay, so let's see. Yeah, so I can look at things and press X and have some dialogue. So, dear citizens, please make note to keep your pies safe during the pleasant weather we are experiencing. Several ladies have reported pies from their kitchens disappearing at alarming rates. Even worse, the picky culprit is leaving behind only the rhubarb pies. Until this criminal is caught or the bad weather returns, we remind our housewaves to make use of their pie safes indoors or stick to rhubarb. I sympathize with this pie thief not only because I enjoy pie and like stealing, but because I don't care for rhubarb. Had a rhubarb, sort of a rhubarb crumble once, and I choked it down because it was made by a friend. But wow, yeah, it was no good. I have since had an apple rhubarb juice that I enjoyed, but rhubarb pie, no thanks. This is interesting, but yeah, not exactly about a ghost. Let's see, new Ole store in the Towny Century. The Old Pickaxe Hardware Store is set to have its grand opening this Saturday. We received a sneak peek of the store yesterday, and our town will benefit greatly from this new addition. Roy Burge is bringing 25 years of building experience into his new venture and has stocked the shelves with all the nuts, bolts, and nails you would need for any project, plus the latest in tools. Stop by to see the latest trends in everything from handsaws to hammers. Best of luck to Mr. Burge. No ghost to be found here. The way you say ghost, it sounds like you don't believe me. Possum Massacre. Severe violence broke out of the Stafford Mines strike today. The bosses arrived to attempt to renew talks and were taunted by some of the children present. Rocks were thrown and the National Guard and strikebreakers opened fire on the crowd. After a few minutes, the smoke cleared and the gory scene revealed. 9 miners are dead with a dozen more injured. A young brother and sister were also shot dead as they were delivering a package of food to their father and uncle, who was on strike when the shooting broke out. The photograph of the 2 children, aged 7 and 9, who were shot in cold blood is circulated far outside of our little county. The heinous act led to a personal visit from the governor to the strike site to meet with strikers. Independent inspectors were also brought in, and the talks finally began, 45 days since the start of the strike. The bosses have agreed to comply to the current safety standards and to honor the demands of the miners. So, yeah, let's, this one. No ghost. I mean, yeah, no ghost, but dead people. It's something to think about. A tale of teeth, huh? Okay, is this the bottom? Strange but True, A Tale of Teeth. Strange but True is our ongoing series about the weird and forgotten aspects of Deep Hollow County history and culture, published weekly. Bad bosses figure heavily into Possum Springs history, and this morbid tale of crime and secret societies is no exception. The story goes, in 1870, a local mine boss was skimming workers on their pay. A group of miners confronted him while he was in the act. He denied everything with many a slur and punched the miners' leader, Darnell Glace, in the face, causing him to lose his last remaining tooth. Ooh, yikes. The miners knew how much Darney's tooth meant to him, and they descended on the boss. A few held the boss down while the others removed all his teeth with pliers. The teeth were passed out to the miners, and a secret society was created with a vow to protect the workers' interests. Membership was based on owning one of these teeth, and each was marked as a symbol of their choosing. These symbols were used around the coal patch to organize meetings and make announcements. The boss survived his attack, but never named his attackers for fear of implicating himself. When died a few years later, members dug up his grave to retrieve his skull. It was used in ceremonies performed before going out for retribution. All would gather round, place their teeth into the sockets, and later retrieve their tooth after the retribution was completed. Upon a member's death, their tooth would be passed to a new member. Teeth of members in jail would be left in their sockets until their fates were decided. After the strike of 1889, the society dwindled. Occasionally a descendant of one of these men will find a tooth with strange markings in their home. Strange, but true. Well, I don't see how that's the slightest bit relevant to May's story. Oh wow, this is gnarly. And awesome. Oh my god. So, May doesn't seem like she makes the connection to the tooth she currently possesses. Maybe that'll come later. I mean, I guess I like that they're leaving it to the player to draw that connection, but it's super obvious. The Stanley T. Possum statue, known by residents as Posse, is finally slated for demolition. Posse closed in 1979, but Richard Coulson, son of Samuel, had hopes of refurbishing the statue for new generations. Posse stood silent for close to 60 years, witnessing the beginnings of the demise of the railroad, the mines, and the coke works that ushered in his existence. Teens and other vandals broke into Posse over the years, and climbing up through Posse became a rite of passage for many young people in the area. Residents have been torn over what to do with the beloved but derelict structure over the years, but 3 years ago, pressure began mounting to have it torn down. A storm knocked off Posse's ear, and the next year Ralph Jenkins fell from the staircase and broke both legs. Samantha Coulson Glick, daughter of Richard, finally agreed that it was time for Posse to go. The demolition will begin at 12 p.m. Sunday, and viewing areas will be set up at a safe distance. No ghost here. Yep. Okay, a strike at Stafford Mine has been called. The idea first arose after the memorial for the 1888 explosion victims. Miners gathered in the home of Arthur Borowski to continue the memorial to their friends. They also began recounting all the promises the bosses had reneged on in the past year, including basic safety measures to avoid another explosion. A group of 20 miners entered the mines to begin the strike, and 30 more joined them before morning. All work has been stopped at the mine, and the miners are now striking in 8-hour shifts. Their wives and children have begun to bring food and water for the men. The bosses have stated that the mines were safer than they were a year ago, and that there is no need to act in this manner. No ghost here. Okay, let's see. Okay, 1870 is when that guy's tooth got knocked out. Alright. Tragedy at Stafford Mine. An explosion occurred at 6:20 a.m. at the Stafford Mine. All work has ceased while men attempt to rescue any survivors. So far, 3 men have been pulled out alive, along with 20 dead. The explosion occurred 10 miles deep in the mine, and only one group of men were able to escape before the elevator's rope snapped, and the next group of men plummeted to their death. So far, hopes of finding more survivors is low. The main path to the tunnel caved in due to the explosion, and supervisors are still attempting to piece together exactly where everyone was during the accident. No ghost here. Events. The last trolley will make its run September 4th. Bernie Goss, the longest employee with 25 years as an operator, will pick up passengers starting at the Market Street tunnel entrance and will end at the trolley garage where light refreshments will be served, and a speech will be given by the Congressman Archibald Reed. Twin Club will be meeting at the Stags on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. This month's craft will be knitted hats for the soldiers along with a potluck. All mothers of twins of any age are welcome. No ghosts here. Yep, so twins, huh? Mothers of twins of any age are welcome. That's, interesting. What significance do twins have? Does May have a secret twin? Deep Hollow County morgues. The final group of bodies from the 1888 explosion have been recovered 2 days shy of the 1-year anniversary of the tragedy. These 5 men bring the total of dead up to 112. 2 of the men, Addison Pine and Henry Harvey, were the ones who set off the explosion. Although mine bosses had been informed that gas pockets were present in that section, they elected not to inform Pine and Harvey of the possible danger. The other 3 bodies belong to Peter Bledsoe, Christian Stanoff, and Peter Lazja. Peter Lazja's funeral arrangements will be handled by Father Liddes, as the man's widow has since returned to Hungary with his 2 orphans. Were they twins? Okay, well... Oh wait, did I inspect this one? No ghost. Okay, let's start from the top again. Want to see everything. Local ghost Little Joe at it again. As the school children are quick to inform you, Possum Springs has at least one resident who won't show up on any census survey. Little Joe, purportedly the ghost of Joe Shade, a miner who died in mysterious circumstances some decades ago, is a favorite spook story of the whimsical and weird members of our community. His most recent activities seem to involve getting up out of his coffin in the old section of Possum Springs Cemetery and wandering around, unnerving visitors to the largest graveyard in Deep Hollow County. His grave has become a destination for unruly and often destructive local youths, and as such, Possum Springs City Council is considering erecting an iron gate to protect the historical tombstones that fill the small hollow where Joe Shade lies buried. Police have also stepped up patrols in the area, so be warned, thrill seekers, you may not see a ghost, but you may see a fine for trespassing. Ooh, look. Scooch so I can see. Graveyard, that's a gimme. I mean, if you're looking for ghost stuff, that's where they make a lot of them. Looks like they saw him in the old section. Oh cool, that's where his grave is. I'm actually interested in that. How could you not be interested? This is like actual dangerous ghost stuff. I like history. Ghosts are history. History that won't stay history. Haha, that's actually pretty good. Okay. Let's see. The Stanley T. Possum statue has officially opened to the public, and we have to say we are smitten. For 2 cents, one can enter Stanley and spend quite a lovely time looking the Possum Springs of yesteryear in the museum, enjoying some popped corn and fresh lemonade in the snack parlor, decorated with Tiffany glass electric lights before heading up a full 10 feet to see the sights of our beloved town through the eyes of this grand possum. There is even a beautiful train diorama that will delight both the young and old. We predict Stanley T. Possum will be a sight that all passing through our town will desire to behold, and will be sure to draw many crowds. No ghost. Okay, spectral happenings at Possum Jump. 2 local sweethearts were startled. Decent. Okay, I think I already read this one. Didn't examine it though. Hey, look at this. Yeah. Looks like Possum Jump. Let me read it. It's Possum Jump. Okay, yeah, that's back up in the state park, right? Yeah. Ever been up there? Nope. Gonna check it out though. Go nuts. Let's see, that's the... Okay, read that one. Sound off. Opinion line. We would like to remind the men of our town to please refrain from spitting on the sidewalk. This unsanitary habit is unseemly and beneath you. Parents, please be sure your daughters are not participating in the new trend of skirts showing the ankles. I do not think we need to remind you which road of brimstone this temporary fashion trend will lead your dear daughters down. I have been witnessing more and more teenage girls coming into our town on a Saturday night unchaperoned, using vulgar slang terms, certainly unfit for me to print here, and blocking the sidewalks by walking arm in arm. They are loud and also flirt with boys unabashedly while smoking cigarettes. These young ladies need to be stopped before our young ladies get any ideas or our boys fall in love with the wrong girl. Ooh, temptresses. Young men have been seen around Possum Springs engaging in the ridiculous behavior of wearing mismatched patterns in their suits. This type of outfit may be all the rage in Bright Harbor, but good luck getting any respectable businessman around here to employ you. You all look like rabid clowns. Councilman Puchinska's plan for 3rd Street is a joke. What else is there to say? No ghost here. Yeah, I mean, the prudish stuff, obviously I disagree with, but I mean, let's face it, Councilman Puchinska's plan for 3rd Street is pretty ridiculous. Let's see. Okay, no ghost here. Samuel Coulson has purchased 10 acres of land, 10 acres, on the outskirts of Possum Springs. When we inquired as to what Mr. Coulson would use the land for, he would only remark that what was coming here would delight both young and old for years to come. We are very anxious to be delighted. So, let's see, that's... Yeah, okay, so Samuel Coulson was the... So that's the possum statue, that's what he was talking about. Progress Springs in Possum Springs. Randall Stafford, owner of the Bell's Hole Mine Works, has partnered with Samuel Coulson, owner of Coulson Coke Works, Daniel Glick, railroad magnate, and prominent business owner Harrison Schregeist, Geist means ghost, to make some stunning improvements throughout the town. The four men desire to build a model of progressive living right here in Possum Springs. The old miners' double houses on Elm Street will be torn down and replaced with spacious single homes. A new elementary school will be opened nearby, along with a new state-of-the-art recreation center courtesy of Arnold Applebaum. This is in addition to the improvements Randolph Stafford promised the previously striking miners. No ghost here. Yeah, so Arnold Applebaum is the guy with the statues. We know that. Yeah, Samuel Coulson is the possum statue guy. Owner of Coulson Coke Works. Coke, by the way, is a name for something used in the process of refining coal, I think. Okay, so I forgot to examine this one before. Oh, okay, you can examine things multiple times. Okay, looks like the next one to look at... Okay, we saw that one. Is that the edge? Okay. Finally. There has been another sighting of the albino groundhog from a very reliable source this time. Edgar Stuter reports that he saw the pure white beast digging near Shade Gap. Joe Shade? That's the... See, Mr. Stuter has declined to give any more of an exact location and implores his fellow hunters to admire this anomaly from afar and leave him to his business. We could not agree more with this upstanding citizen and remind townsfolk that if you are interested in seeing an albino creature, to stop by Sudi's barbershop for a peek at an albino raccoon. We're certain this will assist your mind in completing the search for the groundhog. No ghost here. So the more I talk, the more I'm losing the ability to articulate. My apologies for that. But Joe Shade is the name of Little Joe, correct? And there's an albino groundhog nearby. There's an albino raccoon somewhere in town. I mean, not currently. They've presumably lived out their natural lifespans by this point. But there's also pale white tunnelfish in the tunnel, as you'll recall. So there may be some ghastly force leaching the color from creatures that are, unfortunate enough to encounter it. But then again, I mean, that guy fishes for those tunnel fish and he eats them, and apparently he's okay. Anyway, underground gases afflict Minnie. The houses on Larch Street have been evacuated after the discovery of gas buildup in the basements was found to have led to hallucinations in scattered members of the households. For the past several weeks, residents have been complaining of family members who began hearing voices or seeing things that were not there. One older woman was found having an animated discussion with an empty chair. When pressed, she calmly explained that she was talking to her sister, who had passed away some 50 years ago. 2 nights ago, the son of Carson Zimmer ran out of the house and leapt into Cooper's Pond 1 mile up the road. Moments before this, the child had been readying for bed, and according to another sibling, had become increasingly agitated. The last words he uttered were about some sort of song before he dashed out of the house and into the night where his watery grave awaited him. The last event persuaded residents to request help from officials to see if this is related to St. Leuven's lantern, a phenomenon where exposure to specific underground gases leads certain victims to experience waking dreams, auditory hallucinations, and the sense of unseen presences. Preliminary tests indicate that gas is present in the homes, and mining officials are moving the residents until more tests can be completed. No ghost here. Let's see, did I examine this one? No ghost here, yeah, okay. Strike lumbers on. The strike is now in its 30th day with no end in sight. The bosses have refused to meet with the miners, saying that their demands are too fantastical. The miners claim that they are only asking for the bosses to adhere to the safety standards that are already the law. The National Guard was called in after last week's scuffle, and the Coulson Cokeworks Union has joined the cause, which has caused an uptick in national press arriving at the site. The women's camp has expanded its services from serving meals to beating any non-union miner from entering the mines. So far, they have been successful in both ventures. No ghost here. And looks like this is the last one. Ghostly rumors haunt new historical society. The Possum Springs Historical Society's conversion and the Schreigeist House conversion of the Schreigeist House into its new headquarters and education center has hit a snag. Custodial head Jed Newsom has resigned, citing strange occurrences in the old manor. I'd be there after hours doing my work, and I'd hear someone walking around trying doorknobs. I came out to see who was fooling, but there was never nobody there, said Newsom. Trying to get this map room operational for the children, all the while I'm looking over my shoulder expecting to see knows what. Mr. Newsom had previously requested to work only daylight hours when other staff were present in the building, but even that proved to be too terrifying. I don't go to the off-limits area anymore. I don't go up past the 2nd floor and then only to go to the office. I know the others laugh, say I'm seeing Little Joe or something, but they can all go spit. Little Joe, for the uninitiated, was a local ghost story popular some years ago. The Possum Springs Historical Society has refused to comment on Mr. Newsom's claims at this time. Hey, ghost spotted. Historical Society. History that won't stay history in a history place. History place. Yeah, I've never been. You didn't go back in school. I think this was when I wasn't in school. Oh, after the softball incident. Yeah, mostly just watched TV and did therapy. Well, it's actually a pretty cool old house. Used to be owned by one of the mine owners or something. Railroad, mine, steel mill, something like that. An actual haunted house. No. Elementary school kids are there all the time. They have like summer arts and crafts programs. Oh, well, still worth checking out. Okay, well, that's like 3 leads. Let's boogie. Let's boogie. Also, is that it? Yeah, I think we looked at everything. So, yeah. 3 clues, we got 3 leads. You're a regular detective. May Borowski, a detective of ghosts. Alright, let's go. So we've got some leads. Can I borrow your car this week? Do you even have a license? I mean, no, regardless, but do you? Nope. No license, no credit cards, don't believe in money. You just believe in other people's cars and money. I didn't choose to be born into this society. Okay, well, I have, a job. So I can't drive you around to all these spots. I can maybe do the graveyard. I need to go there anyway. Cool, I'll see if Greg wants to do the other two. And I probably don't have to say this, but just because something happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen again. Hey nerd, ever hear that history repeats? It does. It does the same thing over and over again. So we've just been in a loop since we were living in caves. Yeah, that's science. Oh my freaking God. So we can go back up. I guess I'll cut ahead if there's nothing interesting from going back up. There is nothing interesting from going up. What'll really be interesting is when we walk over here and we find that the librarian has been murdered. Yep, murdered. Oh, whoa, it's Selmers. Ahem. What is... Is that Miss Quelsey? Oh, wow, haven't seen her since graduation. She was always kind of a badass. School district did not fund that art program at all, but she made it work. She was like some sort of art teacher survivalist. Wow, never realized. I think they pay her in bits of string and empty soda cans. Thank you all for coming to this second meeting of the Possum Springs Poetry Society. Do you want to stick around for this? Yeah, I want to hear from Tunnelfish Guy and Selmers. Tonight we have new poems from myself and Fisherman Jones. All right, that's his name. And Selma Ann Forrester. Okay, so... yeah, that's... yeah, so that settles things. A lot of people, like I sometimes point out, I watch a lot of Let's Plays, and some people are confused as to whether Selmers is a guy or a girl. Seems like Selmers is a girl, and it is short for Selma. Also, it turns out she's been wearing a skirt this entire time, which also may have served as a clue. I mean, look, anybody can wear anything they want, but, I will start us off with one of my own. She's from some big city, right? Or they don't actually pay her in string, right? Yeah, I'd like to find out about the cities of this world. Yeah. How'd she end up here? Who knows? Okay, that wasn't very enlightening. Ahem. Letter to my worst student. To my worst student, the subject of my stories I tell friends back home. When they ask about life, out here in the sticks, it's you, I worry, at the end of my life. You will be the only one I remember. Why did you key my car? I know it was you, Brian. Thanks, everyone. Is that legal? Or poor Miss Quelsey? Let's ask if that's legal. What? Talking about details about students like that? She didn't name names. Yeah, she did. Okay, no full names. Next up, Fisherman Jones. Fisherman Jones has a poem for us. Two poems. They're short, though. 2 poems. Take it away. Hi, folks. Thanks. This is called Tunnel Eels. Tunnel eels, tunnel eels. I do not know how it feels to be in darkness all the time, born in muck and raised in slime. But neither do you know paths I've trudged, so it hardly is your place to judge. Okay, that's one poem. The next one is shorter. This is called Tunnel Frogs. Tunnel frog swims in the dark, must think it would be a lark to be a fisherman like me. But what do you know, Amphibie? That's it. That's great. Thank you, Fisherman Jones. Dude is really worried about what fish think, or he definitely talks to the actual fish. Yeah, let's do his first one. That tunnel always spooks me. Finally, a poem by Selma Ann Forrester. Yay, Selmers! Thanks, May. You know her? Dude, she's like your neighbor. Oh. She writes these really funny, dorky short poems. I'm up for something short and funny. This is called There's No Reception in Possum Springs. She's not wrong. No reception here. I wave my black phone. In the air like a flare, like a prayer, but no reception. I read on the internet, babyface boy billionaire. Phone app sold, made more money in one day than my family over 100 generations. More than my whole world ever has. World where house buying jobs became rent paying jobs, became living with family jobs. Boy billionaires. Money is access to politicians, waiting for us to die, lead in our water, alcohol and painkillers. Replace my job with an app. Replace my dreams of a house and a yard with a couch in the basement. The future is yours. Forced 24/7 entrepreneurs. I just want a paycheck and my own life. I'm on the couch in the basement. They're in the house and the yard. Some night I will catch a bus out to the West Coast and burn their Silicon City to the ground. Holy shit. Wow, damn. Huh, she rhymed entrepreneur. I don't even know what that word means. Thanks, everyone. Is she always like this? No. Wow. Huh. Thanks, everyone. See you in 2 weeks. Hey, Summers. What? I liked your weird poem. Thanks, I wrote it myself. Wait, was the assumption that she didn't write it herself? Nice work, Smelmer. I don't like that nickname. What are you two? Sorry. It's cool. Can we go now? Yeah, Selmers wants to shake things up. Okay, thanks for coming. We live here. Right, so find out anything about your ghost? Yeah. There's that head shaking. Tell him, B. There were some newspaper clippings that talked about a ghost. Not just any ghost, Little Joe. I don't really remember Little Joe. He's a ghost miner. He died in mysterious circumstances. Wow. I know, right? Mysterious. I thought you were, like, afraid of this ghost. Like, filled with, like, dread and shit. I'm terrified. Okay. So it mentioned 3 different places we can all check out. I have work and stuff. Yeah, Greg and I also have work. You guys skip out on work all the time. Maybe we can, like, split this up. Share custody of you and your ghost. What places were you thinking about? The graveyard? I'd call that one. It's close and not illegal. Is there an illegal one? Sure is. The Historical Society. You know you don't have to, like, break in. The people there, like, get paid to show it to you. Anyway, I'm in for the Historical Society. Awesome. So what did I get stuck with? Possum Jump. Oh, reaction. I know Possum Jump. We used to go there in Scouts. Perfect. Okay, I need to, like, actually get home and do work. This is going to be awesome. And also, I'm scared to death. Whew, very productive day. It's Selmers, a good poet. Thought, if I die, Selmers should write a poem about it. Okay, still no update on the mysterious tooth, even though, you know, May should know by now what it signifies. Yeah, nothing over here. First of all, Selmers was already a good poet, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, seems like that's going around. They are. Yepers. So, you and Mom had a bit of a fight yesterday, huh? Yeah. I thought you two were getting along? We were. We are. Yeah, we are. Just a bump. You two, always two alike. I guess. I got your chill and her smartassness. I just hate to see you two on the outs again. It'll be fine, we're cool. So we're having money problems? What? No, we're fine. Dad. May, it's fine. It's okay, I'm 20, I can handle it. Nothing to handle. Okay. Huh. That's interesting. It would be, I mean, it sounds like Mom handles the financials, which, whatever, but it would be weird for her to be keeping Dad in the dark about it, considering it's, their house they're potentially both losing. So maybe Dad knows something that Mom isn't telling May? Potentially something that Mom doesn't know, but I don't know about that. Mom seems pretty with it. Might just head up to bed tonight. Sounds good, kid. Been a long couple days. Okay, so not watching Garbo and Malloy tonight. That's fine. Got a lot to think about. Nothing over here. I don't suppose going into the crawl space would elicit some kind of revelation about the tooth. It is at very least worth a shot. Nope. Huh. Yeah, I mean, the significance of the tooth, at least in terms of the history we looked at, as opposed to, the significance it'll play in the game, is pretty clear. But I guess May will either figure it out or not figure it out when the time comes. Or, maybe it'll give the player a choice as to, how to use it. Or I don't know. That would be interesting if later on, the game sort of quizzed you, and if you got something right, then there was some sort of revelation. That's actually true with the Goths we saw previously. They ask you, which of these things have you seen, and the correct answer is shipwreck, and if you get it wrong, they just don't say much more to you. Hey, Sharkle. Okay, that's the same, of course. Hey, May. Let me know when you want to go to the park. I looked up a map, and it's a pretty straight shot up to Possum Jump. Okay, great. We never really get a chance to hang out. It'll be fun, I think. Okay, I'm going to sleep. Night, sir. Tips hat. Yeah, nice. Oh, Angus, tipping your hat like that is something that could, from someone not as cool, it would be pretty lame, but when Angus does it. Anyway, so, what was I going to say? I looked up the Historical Society on the internet. It's real old, but then they did big renovations. Oh, really? Listen, I'm not saying there's a ghost, but old stuff like that just got torn up. Seems like Ghost Central. How so? You're a ghost hanging out in an old house, and then someone puts in a pool where you died or something? Haunted pools would be actually pretty scary. I'm spooked. I'm going to bed. Let me know when you want to hit the cemetery. I should be around most nights this week. I don't know. Thanks, B. Don't thank me too hard. I'm going there anyway, and it's right down the road. You're ruining this. Oh, in that case, you are so incredibly welcome, and also you better not forget this big favor. That's more like it. I'm falling asleep. Had fun tonight. Sorry if I was grouchy. It's fine. Wait, did you fall asleep? Lol. Okay, so we've seen that one already. All right, and that's just about everything. And we're going to get a chance to hang out with Angus, which is great because, yeah, as May pointed out, we haven't really gotten a chance to see him. So let's see if we get a dream. It's tradition at this point that we start the dream, then end the video, and start it next time. So let's see what we get. Yep, that's a dream. Looks pretty similar to the, I guess, second dream we got, where, oh boy. Is that B or someone else? This another crocodile person. Oh, fish. Ghostly fish. Well, anyway, so this looks similar to the second dream where the giant bear eventually came at us, but we will see if it is similar or different next time. Right? So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up or a comment if you like what you saw, and I'll see you next time.